Header styles are nothing more than a style that Microsoft has you can apply to each of your headings. For example, like the heading of this paragraph is Step 1, capture your video, Step 2, export your video, and the heading of the document is capture, edit, and burn DVDs. Now true, you can come in here and not use the styles that are showing up here in the style group and just select it and go ahead and do B for bold and maybe size 20, and there's my heading for the whole document, heading 1. But the problem that you run into, and I'm going to undo this, is that if you want to use Microsoft Word's table of contents where it automatically pulls in your headings for you, it needs to know what headings they are. It can't just go, well, anytime you click bold I'm going to pull that in, or anytime the size is 12 I'm going to pull it in. What it does is it uses header styles, and it's up in the header style group here. In fact, you can click on the expandable button here and it already has a few, heading 1 and heading 2. In fact, you can see when I hover over it, it updates the heading down here to that style. Click off in a blank area here. So you hit two birds with one stone. First of all, if you use the header styles, not only can you use and have these headings pull automatically into your table of contents because it now has a code that Microsoft can word and tell this is a heading, this is a heading, but also anytime you modify the headings, which you can do. In fact, let's go ahead and get started. Let me select or click somewhere in the first paragraph. In fact, you don't have to select. When I turn on my show hide codes, it applies your styles to the whole paragraph, and as you recall, any time that you have a hard return, everything before it's going to be a paragraph. So I'll turn them off and I'll go ahead and click heading 1. By default, it automatically applies Cambria as the font style. You can see here, size 16, B for bold, and then let me go down to step 2 and say that's going to be heading 2, and then click on heading 2. Now, if I don't like these styles that Microsoft has, you can go ahead and modify them, but the whole key point about this is twofold. It'll automatically pull these headings into your table of contents, so you want to watch the table of content training video to learn how to do that. And also, let me go ahead and apply this second heading here, is that when I apply these headings, if I edit them, they'll automatically update all the headings throughout the document. Now, you can't say that you can do that as quick and as easy if you manually came in here and clicked on B for bold, and then had to go through each heading in the document and bold it or unbold it or change the font size so all of them match. So you're getting a good deal here. So I don't need to convince you any further. What we want to do is if you want to modify this, like say for example heading 1, I don't want that to be left aligned, and maybe I want the color to be different or the font. Come up here and just go ahead and right click and left click on modify. So there's my heading 1. Right now it's left aligned. Let's make it center, and instead of Cambria, let's change it to Arial and go ahead and click OK, and then that's my new heading. Now by the same token, if I update any of these heading 2s, they'll automatically update throughout the whole document. So if I right click on heading 2 and modify and say I don't want you italicized, but how about if we have you underlined, click OK, you notice boom, right there it automatically updates all those texts that have the heading style applied to it. Now let me go ahead and click on it. You can see it's got that orange border around it, so anytime I click on a heading here, it colors it. Of course, if I click off in a blank area, normal text, then it obviously shades it in orange around the box normal. Another way you can do this to look at it, because you can see only 1, 2, 3, 4 show up here unless you expand it all to see which one's orange, is you can always click on the Styles Expandable dialog box button, and you get a whole list of styles. So now you're not limited to just viewing the 4. You can come in here and click on different types, and it'll zing around in here and put it in a border of blue of which styles applied to the text that you currently have your cursor flashing on. Now let's say that you need more heading. In fact, look at this. We got some felonious headings in here. If I right click on that heading and I say select this one instance where I have a heading 2 plus a subscript, when I left click on it, you can see I got a little space where, I don't know if you're like me sometimes, you select some text here and you put a heading 2 on there and then you decide to change it and do 12. I mean, you're really screwing up and adding your own additions of headings. So now I have 3 different types of headings in here. I have my normal heading 2, which is the default up here, but then I have a heading 2 plus 12 point and then plus a heading 2 plus subscript. So you can right click and just select it. And then you can actually right click. If it doesn't affect anything there, you can go ahead and delete it. And so it'll delete everything in that document that's tied to that subscript there. And then I can go ahead and right click and find out where this one instance of heading applies to heading 2. and then go ahead and delete that as well. And then when I delete that, it defaults to normal text. Another great feature. Again, if I want to add more headings, a heading 2, a heading 3, heading 4, heading 5, they're actually hidden. Microsoft will hide these, and so you have to open them up by, again, if I close out of here, expanding your Styles dialog box button, coming down and clicking on the Manage Styles button. And when you come to the Recommend tab, of course up at the top it'll have your Edit tab. Another way, there's more than one way to edit your headings by selecting them and editing and modifying down below, but your Recommend tab actually will show you what's going on. Heading 3 is hidden until you actually use it, and how can you use it if it's hidden? So I'm going to go ahead and click Show and then scroll down, and maybe we also want heading 4, we'll show it, and scroll down. You can see now I have 1 through 4. I'll click OK. I'm going to close out of here, and when I expand this, I now have heading 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel, get notified of the latest videos, and for only $2 a month, you can have access to all my Microsoft Office training videos.